You felt it, didn't you? That strange tightness in your chest when you were about to make an important decision, that number that appeared 3 times in the same day, that disturbing dream that returned for the 4th time this week, that silent voice that told you to stop, and you moved forward anyway. And now, after so many ignored signs, you are here, at this exact moment, hearing these words, and I need to tell you a truth that will paralyze you. Archangel Michael is irritated, not with the world, with you, because for months, perhaps for years, he has been trying to reach you and you keep pretending you don't hear. You didn't arrive at this video by chance. You were led here. Every decision that brought you to this moment, every video that appeared before this one, every notification you could have ignored and didn't, everything was orchestrated. There is an intelligence behind this, and it wants your full attention now. Because what I'm going to teach you in the next few minutes is the secret that separates people who receive divine protection from those who spend the rest of their lives asking, begging, and never being heard or being. Most people have spent their entire lives asking God, asking the angels, asking the saints, and nothing happened, and they don't understand why. But I will reveal it to you now. You do not receive what you ask for. You receive what you feel you already are. This is the principle that Neville Goddard called the law of assumption, and when Archangel Michael approaches your life with signs, he isn't asking you if you want protection. He is handing you a key, and the key only works if you occupy the state of consciousness of the person who is already protected, who is already guided, who is already chosen. The problem is simple. Your subconscious mind is running an old program, a program of lack, a program of fear, a program of, this doesn't happen to me. And as long as this program is active, you can see 1,000 signs a day, you can dream of Michael every night, and nothing will manifest in your material reality, because the signs are the bridge of incidents that the invisible uses to pull you into a new reality. But it is you who must cross this bridge. And crossing means feeling, with every cell of your body, that you are already what Archangel Michael came to announce. And it is exactly here that the conflict that is silently consuming you resides. You are seeing the signs, but you are unable to decipher them. You feel something in your chest when you pass through certain places, when certain people talk to you, when certain situations repeat themselves in your week, and no one around you understands what you feel. You remain silent because you think it's madness. But it's not madness. It's a calling, and the problem is that very few people know what to do with a calling of this magnitude. You were chosen to see what others do not see, and that responsibility is weighing inside you without you being able to name it. There is protection being offered to your home, to your family, to your children, and it depends on you recognizing the bearer of the message before he turns away. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, titled How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, a work that places in your hands the exact marks that a chosen one carries and how to honor Michael's calling before it is too late. The link is pinned at the top of the comments and also in the description of this video. Thousands of Brazilians who opened this book report that they stopped living on autopilot, that they finally understood why they felt such spiritual restlessness, and that they felt the firm presence of protection enter their homes in a way they had never felt before. This video could be taken down at any moment because the message it carries bothers those who prefer to keep people asleep. If you are feeling right now that this moment is yours, write Amen in the comments as a decree of acceptance of this new phase, and keep listening because what comes next is the point where everything changes. Returning to the central point, I want you to understand what is happening in your body at this very instant. Modern science has already proven, through serious research by the HeartMath Institute, that the human heart generates an electromagnetic field thousands of times more powerful than that of the brain, and this field changes depending on what you are feeling. When you feel fear, this field contracts, becomes disorganized, and the universe responds with the same contraction. When you feel recognition, gratitude, spiritual certainty, this field expands, organizes itself, and the universe responds with expansion. The angels, and especially Archangel Michael, operate at this level. They do not respond to your mouth, they respond to your feeling. They do not listen to what you say. They read what you are. There is a powerful phrase that Neville Goddard repeated until the last day of his life. Feeling is the secret, and this phrase gains even greater weight when applied to spiritual protection. Because if you keep asking for protection but internally feel unprotected, Archangel Michael cannot manifest in your reality. He cannot. Spiritual laws are exact. He can only move within what you assume to be true within yourself. That is why people who go around repeating, "Oh, I am so unlucky. It never works out for me. Everything bad happens to me." They decree their own spiritual loneliness. They close the doors to the help that is standing outside, waiting for authorization to enter. And when we speak of I am, we are talking about the divine name, the cosmic signature that each of us carries. Every time you say I am, you are creating. You are modeling the invisible. I am tired. I am lonely. I am forgotten by God. Each of these phrases is a knife stuck into your own future. Archangel Michael, according to the oldest traditions, is the angel of the sword, but his sword is not to hurt you. It is to cut the poisonous I ams that you yourself planted inside your mind, and he can only cut with your permission. Your permission is called persistence. Persistence in the feeling, persistence in occupying the state of one who is already protected, guided, chosen. There is a woman named Mary over in Newark who wrote to me a few months ago telling a chilling story. For 3 nights in a row, she dreamed that a tall man, dressed in light, held her son's arm, preventing him from crossing a street. Mary woke up on the 3rd night with an unusual tightness in her chest. She had 2 options: rationalize the dream or honor it. Mary honored it. That same morning, she didn't let her son go to school alone as he always did. She took him by car. 3 blocks before the school, a drunk driver ran a red light and destroyed the corner where her son would have been walking, exactly at that time. That tightness in Mary's chest was not nervousness. It was Archangel Michael diverting the tragedy through her. But note, he could only act because she accepted to occupy at that instant the state of consciousness of a mother protected and instructed by the invisible. And perhaps now, hearing about Mary, something inside you stirred. Perhaps you are remembering a recent dream, an ignored sensation, someone who appeared in your memory out of nowhere in the last few weeks. This is the calling intensifying. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, where you decipher every sign received and learn how to protect those you love while there is still time. The link is at the top of the comments and in the description. Michael does not call the same soul 3 times. Those who answer on the 2nd call see doors open. Those who let it pass pay the price of silence. And the question that needs to bother you now is, why do so many people receive dreams like Mary's and never manage to honor them? Why do some people have sharpened spiritual sensitivity and others spend their entire lives deaf? The answer lies in a concept that few truly study, the 4th dimension. Neville Goddard taught that there is a world parallel to the material world, a world made of imagination, of feeling, of states. And it is in this dimension that the angels operate. They are not trapped in the physical plane. They are in the 4th dimension, waiting for you to cross the border of your rational thought and enter, even if for a second, into the state of one who trusts fully. But most people live trapped on the 3rd floor of consciousness, the floor of reasoning, of logic, of this makes no sense. When a sign appears, this 3rd floor immediately dismantles the sign. It was a coincidence. You are tired. This means nothing. And that's it. The bridge is destroyed before you even step on it. Archangel Michael cannot descend to the 3rd floor. You are the one who needs to climb to where he is. And you climb by occupying the feeling, not the thought. I'm going to teach you now a simple ancient technique, but one that few know how to apply correctly. Every night before sleeping, at the moment when your mind is already tired, soft, almost surrendered to sleep, you're going to do the following. You're going to imagine a short scene, a scene where you see yourself under the protection of Archangel Michael. It could be you in the kitchen, calm, feeling his presence behind you. It could be you inside the car, driving safely, feeling his presence in the passenger seat. It could be you hugging your child, feeling a blue mantle around both of you. The scene doesn't matter. What matters is the feeling it generates. Persistence, persistence, persistence. Every night, the same scene, the same feeling, until it becomes more real to you than the material reality that surrounds you. This is the secret of nocturnal reprogramming. Because the subconscious is exactly like fertile soil. It does not judge what you plant. It only makes it grow. And if you plant, every night, the sensation of divine protection, of walking alongside Michael, that is what will grow in your material life. Signs begin to appear with more clarity. People begin to enter and leave your life at the exact moment. Decisions that previously seemed impossible begin to take shape with ease. You are not manipulating the universe. You are tuning yourself to the frequency where protection already exists. Now I need to confront you with something uncomfortable. Archangel Michael is not an angel of peace. He is the angel of spiritual war. And one of the reasons why he is irritated with you is because you have been a weak soldier. Not in the material sense, in the spiritual sense. Every time you allow yourself to sink into thoughts of, I can't, no one hears me, my family is lost, you are laying down your weapons on the battlefield he entrusted to you. And he watches. He watches in silence, waiting for you to react, waiting for you to stand up and occupy the correct state, waiting for you to remember who you are. There is a family I follow closely, over in Portland, who lived through a situation that perfectly illustrates this principle. The father was about to lose his job. The house was being financed by a bank that threatened to foreclose. The wife began to have severe anxiety attacks, and the youngest son was isolating himself inside his own room. The entire family was sinking. That was when this woman, the wife, received very clear guidance in a dream. She saw Archangel Michael, and he said a single phrase, stop asking, start being. She woke up trembling, and she decided to change everything. Instead of praying and asking, she began to feel every night before sleeping that her family was already restored. She felt the smell of coffee in the peaceful kitchen. She felt the laughter of her son returning. She felt the firm presence of her husband stable again. 3 months later, the husband received a job offer better than his old job. The wife stopped having attacks. The son began to reach out again, and she wrote me a phrase that I keep to this day. I didn't ask for anything. I just decided to feel as if it already were. This is the law of assumption in its pure state. This is feeling as the secret applied in practical life. And this is exactly the type of spiritual movement that Archangel Michael is waiting for from you. He is not waiting for you to kneel and beg. He is waiting for you to rise, occupy the throne that belongs to your soul, and operate from this place of spiritual authority. Because the truth that few have the courage to say is this: Archangel Michael does not work for the weak of faith. He works for those who assume. And if at this exact moment you are feeling a different weight in your chest, a chill on the back of your neck, a desire to cry that hasn't come in a long time, I need you to pay attention. This is not a symptom of fatigue. This is recognition. Your soul is recognizing, perhaps for the first time in years, the voice it had forgotten how to hear. You are not here just to resolve a fight at home, a bill that doesn't add up, a relationship that has stalled. You are here because Archangel Michael decided that your lineage needs to be awakened through you. Yes, you heard that right, through your lineage. For all the ancestors who prayed in silence and were never answered, you are their answer, and you are delaying taking that place. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day. This book was written as a spiritual map for those who realized they are being called but don't know where to start. Inside it, you will find the marks of the chosen one, the specific signs that Archangel Michael sends to those he has decided to protect, the exact way to honor the calling without letting material life collapse, and how to build, inside your home, an invisible shield of assumed faith that protects those you love from the most subtle attacks. The link is pinned at the top of the comments and also in the description of this video. People who have opened this book report, in daily messages, that they stopped having recurring nightmares, that they stopped feeling that strange oppression at home, that they recovered communication with distant children, and that they felt the presence of Archangel Michael firming itself around the family like never before. This content could be taken down at any moment, not because I want it to, but because there are forces that cannot stand seeing so many people waking up at the same time. If you still haven't written Amen in the comments, write it now as a seal of your acceptance. And keep listening, because the most important part of this video is coming exactly now. I'm going to share with you a concept that very few Brazilians know, but which is about to become the key to everything you have not yet managed to manifest in your life. It is called internal dialogue. This is the technical name that Neville Goddard gave to that voice that talks to you all the time inside your head. That voice that comments on the neighbor, that complains about traffic, that grumbles about the salary, that laments a bad relationship, that repeats in silence, "I am tired, I am lonely, no one values me." This voice is not innocent. This voice is your most powerful tool for creation or destruction. Everything that repeats itself in the internal dialogue crystallizes in the material world. Everything, without exception. And Archangel Michael, above all, observes your internal dialogue, because he knows that if you keep talking to yourself all day about lack, fear, doubt, betrayal, you are literally sabotaging the mission he came to fulfill with you. He cannot deliver protection to someone who lives talking to themselves like an eternal victim. He cannot deliver direction to someone who describes themselves, in the silence of their own mind, as forgotten by God. He simply cannot. The reception channel is closed by your own internal voice. So the exercise I'm going to propose to you now is radical. Starting tonight, you will begin to monitor your internal dialogue as if you were the watchman of your own house. Every time a thought of defeat appears, you will cut it with a single phrase, "I am guided." Every time a thought of fear appears, you will cut it with, "I am protected." Every time a thought of loneliness appears, you will cut it with, "I never walk alone." Persistence, persistence, persistence. It is not a technique for 1 week. It is a complete reconstruction of the soil where your life grows. And this is where many people go wrong. People try to manifest a new reality while continuing to feed the old internal dialogue. It is like trying to build a new house on a plot of land where every day someone comes back to tear out the bricks. It doesn't work. You need to stop tearing out the bricks. And you tear out the bricks every time you allow yourself the luxury of spiritual complaining. Every time you doubt in a low voice, every time you comment to a friend, to your mother, to your brother, that nothing ever works out in my life. Note how these comments are in fact inverted decrees, and Archangel Michael cannot override your own decrees. Now I need to show you an even deeper layer. There is a moment within anyone's day that is considered by the wise to be the most sacred portal for transformation. This moment is the twilight of consciousness, the instant when you are lying down, with your eyes closed, but you haven't fallen asleep yet. This interval, which lasts a few minutes, is the gateway to the 4th dimension. At that instant, the barrier between your conscious and your subconscious becomes thin, almost transparent. And anything you feel at that moment is planted with maximum force in the internal field. That is why I ask you, with all the seriousness in the world, stop falling asleep watching bad news. Stop falling asleep arguing with your husband, with your children, with your parents. Stop falling asleep mentally reviewing all the bills you haven't paid. Each of these gestures is a decree being planted in the most sacred portal of your life. And then, the next day, you wake up asking why Archangel Michael doesn't help you. He tried to help you, but you cancelled him out in the last hour of the night. Starting tonight, you will use this portal to your advantage. Before closing your eyes, you will imagine with feeling a scene where everything you need has already been realized. Not the scene of asking, the scene of having. If you want financial healing, feel the relief of paying all the bills with tranquility. Feel the sensation of a wallet at peace. Feel the smile of someone who no longer wakes up, afraid of the phone ringing. If you want healing in love, feel the embrace of the right person. Feel the peace of loving coexistence. Feel the joy of sharing breakfast with someone who understands you. If you want family healing, feel the reconciliation. Feel the restored presence. Feel the laughter of a family reunited again. Persistence. You will return to this scene every night until it becomes more real to you than your current material reality. This is the exact point where Archangel Michael finally manages to act, because now he has something to work with. Now he has a clear frequency, an emotional signature, a direction, and he begins to build, from the invisible side, the bridge of incidents that will lead you from the current reality to the desired reality. This bridge is made of coincidences, of unexpected encounters, of doors opening where before there were only walls, of messages arriving through the most unlikely channels. You don't need to control how the bridge is built. You only need to remain in the feeling. And here is the most common mistake. The mistake that most cancels out manifestations all over Brazil year after year. You start to feel. You start to see the first signs. You feel a chill. You receive an unexpected message. And then, at the moment the bridge begins to take shape, you doubt. You say to yourself, is it real? Am I making this up? And in this doubt, you erase, with your own hands, the first bricks of the bridge. Archangel Michael watches. He won't scold you. He simply retreats because the law is exact. He cannot work against your doubt. That is why persistence is not a suggestion. It is a spiritual requirement. You need to remain in the state, even when the signs still seem confusing, even when material reality insists on showing the same face, even when the people around you say you are losing your mind. Persistence, persistence, persistence. This is the name of the button that keeps Michael moving in your direction. I want to share with you another story that touched me deeply. A man named Anthony over in Miami lost his wife very early, was left with 3 small children to raise, and for years lived with a silent rage against God. He had asked, he had begged, and the wife died anyway. Anthony began to come into contact with these teachings after a long time of revolt. It took him a while to understand, but he began, slowly, to practice. Every night before sleeping, instead of revisiting the pain, he imagined a scene where he saw himself firm, present, joyful, raising his children with love and abundance. For 6 months he did this, in silence, without telling anyone. In the 7th month, he received a promotion at work that changed the financial standard of the house. In the 9th month, he met a woman who approached his children with a warmth he never imagined possible. In the 12th month, he wrote me a phrase that made me cry. Now I understand God didn't forget me. I was the one who had forgotten how to feel. And this is exactly what Archangel Michael is offering you now. It is not a vague promise. It is a total redirection of your frequency. He is teaching you, through this video, through this moment, through this tightness in your chest, that you are feeling right now, that you don't need to wait anymore. You don't need to ask anymore. You just need to assume. Assume that you are guided. Assume that you are protected. Assume that you are chosen. Assume that your family is already shielded. Assume that your financial life is already restored. Assume that your heart is already at peace. And remain in this state of consciousness with the stubbornness of one who knows that this is the only way. Now, before the end of this video, I want to give you 3 powerful decrees that you will repeat in a low voice every night before sleeping. They are not prayers. They are decrees. There is an abysmal difference between a prayer and a decree. Prayer asks. The decree declares. And when you decree in the correct frequency with feeling, you force the invisible to reorganize itself. The first decree is this: I am the one who walks under the shadow of Michael, and no evil reaches me, nor does it reach those I love. The second decree: I am the channel through which protection enters my home, and every wall of this house carries the signature of the invisible. The third decree: I am guided in every decision, in every step, in every word I speak, and the will that is fulfilled through me is the will from above. Repeat these 3 decrees, with feeling, with possession, with the sensation of one who already lives it. Repeat for 30 nights in a row, without failing, and observe. Observe how situations begin to change. Observe how people begin to behave differently around you. Observe how fear begins to move away from your chest. Observe how important decisions begin to arrive with unexpected clarity. Observe how the silence inside you transforms into a firm, living, palpable presence. And the most important point, start today. Not tomorrow, not on Monday, not after the holidays, today. Because Archangel Michael does not operate on the time of your calendars. He operates on the time of your decision. And every night you delay is one less night your family has of protection planted in the invisible. Every night you delay is one more night of destructive internal dialogue crystallizing as material reality. Every night you delay is one more night you spend walking without the shield you should have been carrying for a long time. There is still one last teaching that I need to leave you before the end of this meeting. Many people confuse persistence with stubbornness, and these two words seem like sisters, but are spiritual enemies. Stubbornness is forcing material reality to change through desperate action. Persistence is remaining in the feeling, in peace, knowing that the invisible is already reorganizing itself. When you are stubborn, you get tired, fight with circumstances, try to control when and how the result will arrive. When you are persistent, you just maintain the frequency. Archangel Michael responds to persistence, never to stubbornness. Stubbornness scares away. Persistence attracts. Keep this difference as a treasure because it will save you from many detours. And remember, Archangel Michael does not work in parallel with your doubt. He works in parallel with your certainty. Every time you catch yourself doubting, return immediately to the feeling. Do not fight doubt with more thought. Fight doubt with more feeling. This is the shortcut. This is the return portal. The fourth dimension is accessed by the heart, not by the head. And the heart is accessed by sustained, persistent, decided feeling. And if you have reached this far, it is because your soul refused to abandon this message before the end. This was not a random video, it was a calling. Each word loaded with a purpose, and the purpose is you. Now the responsibility has entered your hands. You can no longer say that you didn't know. You can no longer say that you weren't warned. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you, How to Know If God Will Save You on Judgment Day, a work that deepens every principle I shared here and gives you the step-by-step on how to walk under the continuous protection of Archangel Michael without ever losing the channel again. The link is pinned at the top of the comments and also in the description of this video. Open the link now while the fire of this message is still alive in you, because tomorrow the fatigue, the bills, the routine will try to erase what you have just received. Do not allow this. Write in the comments the phrase "I assume" as a public decree of your new phase, and know that starting tonight you no longer walk alone. Michael is with you, and he will not leave as long as you maintain the state.